This news update is brought to you by This is the 7 a.m. Barbados Today update for Thursday, August the 28th, 2014. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Good morning. A new $15 million oil drilling program is set to start in 2 locations across Barbados mid-next year. Manager of the Barbados National Oil Company, Winton Gibbs, tells Barbados Today the company had decided to put that program on pause this year because of the need to upgrade the oil rigs and make them safer and more efficient.
We expect that drilling program to start next year between July and August 2015. We expect to drill a minimum of 5 wells, 2 exploration wells in the St. John area society, and at least 3 production wells here, developmental wells here in Woodward.
Delinquent renters occupying facilities of the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation should be locked out. That's the view of Commerce and Industry Minister Donville Innes to reports that the BIDC is owed some $10 million in rent. Innes says while there are generally some people occupying facilities around the island that are struggling to make ends meet, others may simply refuse to pay for no apparent reason. He says an analysis must be conducted to determine the root of the problem.
But I've always argued that agencies like the IDC must not function just as landlords, the business development agencies. And therefore where an analysis is done that shows a particular sector is rather delinquent in paying rents, then we have a duty to ascertain why that is the case and see what can be done from a business development perspective to assist.
4 years after the 2010 Campus Trends tragedy, the lives of Barbadians are still at risk. Social activist David Comachon laments that commercial buildings in and out of Bridgetown are yet to meet the necessary safety standards. At a news conference to discuss activities marking the 4th anniversary of the incident, Comachon, who heads the September 3rd Foundation, says the senseless loss of the 6 young women who perished in a fire at the clothing store in Tudor Street must not be in vain.
We still have the problem, we still have the ongoing problem of the lack of proper safety mechanisms, lack of proper fire escapes, the one-door phenomenon of the one-door shop or store in Barbados. I would like to say once again that we remain very disappointed that 4 years after the Campus Trends tragedy, that it seems to us that precious little has been done to rectify that substandard condition that prevails in so many commercial buildings in Barbados.
On September 3rd, the country will observe a minute of silence at noon in memory of the Campus Trends victims and all other victims of violent crime. The foundation has also asked churches to use this week's services to focus on crime and violence against women. In other news, one of this country's emerging gospel artists is in need of a kidney transplant, which has to be done in Canada. But it's going to cost Nyan Warrington just over $500,000 to have the required tests and surgery done. 27-year-old Nyan is appealing to Barbadians to support his One Love benefit concert slated for the New Dimensions Ministries on Barbary Hill, St. Michael tomorrow night. Top local and Caribbean acts will be performing.
We have a good amount of people supporting, and I really appreciate everyone who has been behind it. It's going to be really exciting, I believe, and so far people have been buying the tickets, people have been supported, people have been donating as well to the cause, and I just really appreciate the love that Barbados has been given, you know.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun power.
In regional news now, the Jamaica Cabinet is expected to consider new proposals that could result in changes to the Flexi Work Bill to protect workers from discrimination on religious grounds. The Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches and Labour Minister Derek Killier met yesterday to conclude discussions on flexible work conditions being considered for implementation. Chairman of the church group, Reverend Conrad Pitkin, says strengthening the anti-discrimination clause of the bill is among several proposals that are to go before the Cabinet. He reiterated that the group has always been concerned that under the flexi arrangement, workers' rights to worship could be affected. And finally, on the international scene, the process of identifying the remaining victims of the Malaysia flight MH17 is proving difficult for experts. So far, forensic teams have identified the bodies of 173 passengers, but are now unable to identify over 100 more. 298 passengers, most of them from the Netherlands, died on July the 17th when the plane crashed over eastern Ukraine. Experts say some remains were so badly burnt that it's making it harder to get positive samples from dental records or even fingerprints. That's been the 7 a.m. Barbados Today update. You can join us again at noon, but in the meantime, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on iZoomi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay in supermarkets and gas stations near you. To get more news and sports, I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a great day.
This news update is brought to you by